Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a blaze statue. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, mob statues or otherwise, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my other various tutorial playlists. Not only will I leave my mob statue tutorials playlist, which has a lot of stuff in it, but I'll also leave some more specific videos as well that you guys might want to check out. But moving on, if you want to make the blaze, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black stained clay and some brown stained clay. Then grab yourself some yellow wool, some orange wool, grab red wool, white wool, black wool, and finally guys, grab yourself some brown wool. And once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your blaze by first of all deciding how high you want your blaze to be in the air. So I've designed this to be at least 16 blocks in the air, guys. That's where the actual head of the blaze starts. You can make it more, but I don't think you can actually make it too many less, because then the blaze rods are going to start hitting the ground. So I've made it 16 blocks off the ground. You can make it higher if you want. So first of all, we're just going to have to mark that out with a material. I'm going to use red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now that we have our row of 16, you then want to place a black stained clay on top of that 16th block, and going right of that block, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 brown wool, then 1 black stained clay, 1 brown wool, then 2 red wool, 1, 2, then 2 black stained clay, and that will be the first row of your blazer's face. So for the next row, going up on top of it, going from left to right, do 1 brown clay, 2 brown wool, 1 red wool, then 1 black clay, 1 red wool, 1 orange, 1 black clay. For the next row, do 3 brown clay, 1, 2, 3, then 1 brown stained clay, then 1 black stained clay. I'm sorry, you do 3 brown clay, then 1 black stained clay. My apologies. Then do 1 red wool, 1 orange wool, 1 yellow, 1 orange. Then for the next row, do 1 brown clay, then fill the rest of the row in with yellow. For the next row, going from left to right, do 1 yellow, 1 white, 1 black, 2 yellow, 1 black, 1 white, 1 yellow. Then for the next 3 rows, do 3 solid rows of yellow. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, and we just have to fill those in. That'll be 1, 2, and 3 to give us this. Perfect. That is the blazer's face. What we now have to do, guys, is we're going to do the 2 sides of the head, then the back, then the top, then the bottom, in that order. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, come to the left-hand side of your blaze. Going left towards where the back of our blaze is going to be of this black stained clay, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 black stained clay, then do 1 brown wool, then 1 red, 1 brown wool, then 3 black stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, just like that, guys. And that is what you want to have for the first row of the side of your blazer's head. So for the next row, going from left to right, do 1 black clay, 1 brown clay, 1 black clay, 1 brown clay, 2 black clay, then 1 brown wool. For the next row, do 2 brown clay, 1 black clay, 1 brown clay, 1 yellow, 1 orange, 1 yellow. For the next row, do 1 brown clay, 1 orange, 1 brown wool, then make the rest of the row yellow wool. For the next row, do 2 yellow, 1 orange, then make the rest of the row yellow wool. And once you've done that row, you can actually then proceed to make every single other one of the rows yellow wool. So just equal the height for the face and then just make the rest of the rows yellow wool. And that is what you want to have for this side of the head, guys. And not only do you want to have that for this side of the head, you actually want to have the exact same thing for the opposite side of the head as well. So to do this side of the head, guys, I would highly recommend just looking directly forward at that side of the head and then just applying it onto this side of the head. Like, I don't think that you guys need any instructions for this. I'm sure that you can look directly forward at what you've literally just done, and I'm sure that you'll be able to just figure out what blocks that you'll have to place where just by looking, guys. It doesn't really get any easier than this. It's like having a cheat sheet. I'm not even looking at my own plans right now. I'm just looking at that opposite side of the blaze, and there we go. And then we've just got to fill everywhere else in with yellow. Then we can move on to the back of the head, which is now easier, by the way, guys, because we only have 6 blocks to deal with rather than the usual 8. Then we'll actually do the bottom of the head first, then we'll do the top of the head. So this is the opposite side of your blazer's head, guys. As you can see, identical to the other side that we've just done. Once you've got these sides done, we now want to move on to the back part. So once you've done that, come round to the back part of your blaze. Starting from this bottom left-hand corner of the back of the head, this black stained clay, go right of this with this sequence of blocks. Do 1 black stained clay, 1 red, 1 black stained clay, 1 red, 1 brown wool, 1 red wool. For the next row, do 3 black stained clay, 1, 2, 3. Then do 1 brown clay, then 2 orange wool. For the next row, do 1 brown wool, 1 yellow, 1 black stained clay, 1 yellow, 1 orange, 1 brown wool. For the next row, do 1 brown wool, 1 yellow, 1 orange, 1 yellow, 2 orange. And for the next row, do 2 yellow, 1 orange, 3 yellow. Then for the rest of the rows, guys, just do rows of yellow wool until you hit the top of the head. So make every single other row just yellow wool. And that is what you want to have for the back of your blazer's head, guys. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we can then move on to the next bit. So the last part of the head that actually requires any sort of detail whatsoever, guys, is actually going to be the underpart of the blaze. We don't need to add any detail to the... We don't have to add any detail, guys. I'm trying to find the best way to do this whilst I talk to you. I'm trying to figure out exactly how we can do this, how we can fill this in properly, whilst making sense. Do you get? Okay, there we go. I figured it out. I just had to flip the image a couple of times. So the last bit of this blazer's head that needs detail is the underside of the head. The top part of the head actually doesn't have anything there. So what I want you guys to do is come to the under part of the head and looking towards the back of the head here, where we have these 3 red spots. Going from left to right, coming towards the front of the head, just build up the rows. So to start this off, do 2 brown clay, then do 4 black stained clay, and that's the first row, so you can see how that's going to work. And as a matter of fact, not only do you want to do that for the first row, do the exact same thing for the second row as well. So do 2 brown clay, then 4 black stained clay for the first and second rows. Then for the next row, do 1 brown clay, then 5 black stained clay. For the next row, do an entire row of black stained clay. For the next row, do 4 black stained clay, then do 2 brown clay. And for the final row of the under part of your blaze, do 1 brown clay, 2 black clay, 2 brown clay, and 1 red wool. So this is what you want to have for the under part of your blaze. So obviously the head, the face, is at the top, and the back of the head is at the bottom of the screen. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, all you have to do to take care of the rest of the blazer's head is just fill the top of this thing in with yellow. There's nothing up here, there's no patterning, there's no anything like that, it's just completely yellow wool. And once you have taken care of that, guys, we can then move on to the next bit. So once you've got the head taken care of, obviously the next bit is going to be the blaze rods. All of these are very, very easy. to do, it's just the placements of them. So, you know what, I'm actually going to grab a material that we definitely won't need to use ever. We're going to grab some glowstone, and this is just going to help us mark out where we have to place these rods. So, what you want to do, grab some glowstone, come to the front left-hand side of the head, and the first blaze rod is actually placed in this position. So, where we have this yellow, next to the left eye, you kind of just want to place a glowstone diagonally of that block that we just described, and then diagonally to that glowstone you want to do a yellow wall. So kind of like 2 diagonals out, you want to place a yellow wall. Then go down from that yellow wall by 7 with your yellow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then place a row of 7 going left of, or a row of 8 I should say, going left of that row of 8. 1 plus 7 is 8, like that. What you then want to do, guys, in front of this left-hand row, starting from the top, do, coming down, 1 orange, 1 yellow, 1 orange, then make the rest of the row yellow wool. Then for the next row, starting from the bottom, since it's easier this way, do 1 yellow, 1 orange, then make the rest of the row yellow wool coming up. And that is all you have to do for the rods, guys. The blaze rods, there only seems to be any detail on the front of the blaze rods. The back of the blaze rods, they're just completely yellow. So that's the first one, guys. And then the next one is going to be placed here. So take out your glowstone again, and once you've got that first one done, come down to the bottom left-hand corner of the blaze rod, which is this block right here. Go down from this bottom left-hand corner block by 4 with your glowstone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go left by 1. Then go back by 1, so that direction towards the back of the blaze head. Then continue going back by 1 with your yellow. Then go left of that yellow by 1 with your orange, like this. What you then want to do is go down from that orange wall by 1 with your yellow, then 1 with your orange, then down by 5 with your yellow. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then, starting from going right of this bottom block, want to do 1 yellow, then go up by 1 with your orange, and then do a row of yellow until you hit the top of the rod like this. What you then want to do is just 2 rows of 8 yellow wool directly behind those 2 rows coming out. Of course, you don't want to place them like that. I hate it when that happens. It drives me absolutely insane. There we go. So what we want to have so far, guys, should look a little bit like this. We'll remove the glowstone and stuff later on. So those are the front left-hand rods. Let's do the front right-hand rods. So now come to the front right-hand side of the face, take out your glowstone again, and what you now want to do, guys, is going right of this block right here, just above the eye, this yellow block just above the eye right here. Go right by 3 with your glowstone. So that's 1, 2, 3. You then want to do 2 yellow wool going right. That's 1 and 2. You then want to go down from each one of these yellow walls by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to do the blaze rod pattern in front of these rows. So starting from the top left-hand side, we want to do 1 orange in front, then 1 yellow, 1 orange, then make the rest of the row yellow. Then starting from the bottom of the right-hand side, you want to do 1 yellow, 1 orange, then make that rest of the row yellow. And that is the rod on the front right-hand side done. We now have to do the one that's directly below it. So the one that goes down from it, you want to take out your glowstone again, and starting from the bottom left-hand corner of this right-hand rod, go down by 4 with your glowstone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go left by 2 this time. That's 1 and 2. Then go backwards towards where the back of the head is by 1. You then want to do your yellow wool. Then place an orange left of that yellow wool. Then go down from that orange by 1 with your yellow. Then 1 with your orange. Then 5 with your yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then starting from this bottom right hand block, go up by 1 with your yellow, one with your orange, then make the rest of the row yellow, like so. And then you guys know what to do. You then want to add 2 rows of yellow directly behind that rod. And those will be the 4 rods that we're doing in front of our blaze. Done. There we go. We could add more, but we're not going to. We're going to keep it nice and clear. So we're just sticking with those 4. Once you've got those 4 taken care of on the front of your blaze, guys, we now have to come to the back part of our blaze. So come all the way to the back of your blaze, and you want to, first of all, we'll start with the left hand side. You want to locate this block right here. Can you guys see it? I'm sure you can. Well, from this block, you want to go left of this by 3 with your glowstone. That's 1, 2, 3. You then want to do, guys, and you know what, as a matter of fact, you then want to, from this 3rd block, come back. So, coming further out the back of your statue by 1 with your glowstone. You then want to do an orange wool in front of that glowstone. Then go down, and then go left by 1 with your yellow. We now just want to do the blaze rod pattern. So, going down from this orange, we want to do 1 yellow, 1 orange, then 5 yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then starting from the bottom left hand side, we want to do 1 yellow. We then want to do 1 orange, and then we just want to make the rest of that row yellow. What we then want to do, of course, is just add the 2 rows of yellow wool behind those 2 front rows like that. Now we have to do the rod that is underneath that one. So to do that, we want to come to this back right hand corner here, or this corner right here, this block. You guys know the one, it's the same one that we use every time. Well, from this block we want to go down by 4 with the glowstone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go right by 2, 1, 2. Then come towards us by 1. You then want to do a yellow behind this glowstone, or in front of it, depending on your perspective. Then go right of it by 1 with your orange. We now want to do the pattern, so underneath that orange, do a yellow, orange, down by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then starting from this bottom left hand block, we do 1 yellow, 1 orange, then make the rest of the row yellow. We then want to do 2 rows of 8 yellow coming out of the back of those 2 rows, and those will be the 2 rods on the back left hand side. Similar to the front, but slightly different. Once you've got those taken care of, guys, we can then move on to the 2 back right hand corner ones. So we now want to come to the back right hand side this time, guys, and starting from going right of this block this time, you guys can see the one, the yellow just above that brown stained clay. We want to do 2 glowstone coming out of the right hand side here, so that'll be 1, 2, then come towards us by 1. We then want to do our yellow wool, then an orange right of it, and then you guys will probably know what's coming next. Underneath the orange, we do 1 yellow, 1 orange, then down by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then, starting from the bottom left-hand block, going up, do 1 yellow, 1 orange, then go up with your yellow until you hit the top. We then want to add our 2 layers of yellow behind, that's 1 and 2, and that will give you the, I believe, 7th rod that we've done. Once you've done that, we only have 1 more to do. We're only doing 8, guys. We're not adding any more just because we don't want to clutter the thing. There's sometimes more, there probably is more, but this is how many we're adding. What you then want to do, guys, is starting from this back right-hand corner, the same one that we always use, we want to go down by 4 with our glowstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go right by 2, 1, 2. We then want to come towards us by 1. We then want to place a yellow wool, go right of it by 1 with the orange, and then you guys all know what's going to be happening next. We then want to go down from the orange, 1 yellow, 1 orange, 5 yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go left by 1 with your yellow, up by 1 with your orange, and then make the rest of the row yellow. You then want to do 2 rows of yellow behind, that'll be 1 and 2. And that will give us something, guys, which should look a little bit like this, just to give you guys the back perspective. And once you've got that 8th and final rod done, you've actually completed your blaze. So we just have a very simplified blaze, and all we have to do, guys, to complete this really is we just have to knock out the red wool and the glowstone that we've used to place this thing. Now, like I said, if you wanted to, you could make this thing a lot higher in the sky. I don't know how high blazes can fly exactly, but I'm sure that you could make it as high as you really wanted to. But you can see my problem, guys, is if you make it any lower, then the blaze rods are going to be touching the floor, and that is a problem. Or maybe it's not for you. Maybe you don't even care. Completely up to you. If you want to have them like partially coming out of the floor as if he's like molding with it, then be my guest. It's just that I kind of wanted everything like free floating, but I think that we've actually gotten rid of all the sports. So let's take a look at this thing. So as you can see, this is a pretty simple version of the blaze. I am almost positive there's supposed to be more rods. I think that there's supposed to be either 10 or 12, I think. Don't quote me on that. I've got no clue. And you could make the detail in the face ever so slightly more. You could add a little bit more if you wanted to. But I explicitly wanted to make this easy to make, and I wanted to make it nice and simple. I just wanted to make it repeatable, a nice followable blaze. And it does. It looks pretty good. It's easy to follow, I hope, at least. And it's just not complicated whatsoever, and you can definitely tell that this thing's a blaze. There's no dispute about that. If you wanted to as well, if you wanted to add more blaze rods, you could. If you wanted to add some dark grey smoke, you could. That's completely up to you. But I wanted it like this, basically. I wanted it to be nice and easy, nice and simple. So, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you've managed to make it. And if you've done both of those things, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share. Anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys, I would just vastly appreciate. You guys know I always appreciate it when you give me a like, a favourite, a share. Feel free to leave me some feedback down below in the comments. What do you want to see next? Is there a mob that I've missed that you guys want to see? Is there anything else that you want to see either? Don't feel obliged to... That's the wrong word. Guys, I've been lighting candles in here. There's a lot of smoke. I think that's getting to my brain. So, don't feel obligated to just leave mob suggestions. Feel free to leave anything that you want. Also, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my other various tutorial playlists and some specific videos. You know, it makes sense that it's smoky in here with the blaze on the screen, actually. And also, guys, I think you know what, that's probably everything. That covers everything. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to leave a suggestion. Feel free to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, favorite, share if you would, and I will see you in the next video.